Here we go, boys. Patch note for the 26th of June. Two parts, a lot of stuff in there. We've got what's included in the patch in part 1. But part 2, I mean, it's included as well. It's just that those are hero balance changes. And it looks to be all buffs, so that's cool. Now, Arena Season 2 will be closing on the 28th of July. You definitely want to use all your glory crests. These are the portraits, top 100, and the fourth one is everyone that buy it. That's gonna be for season 3. Either different for season 2. If you don't use your glory crest, they'll be converted 5 to 1 conquest point. Definitely use them because that conversion rate is really bad. Actually, people that have been ranking really high, like legend, like you get a lot more of those, so I guess you're gonna get a bunch of conquest point because it just piles up, but most players will not be getting much. You should definitely buy the unknown slate. Use that for memory imprint on a really rare hero like a Moonlight 5-star hero or a limited heroes that you like use all the time in multiple areas of the game. Memory imprint that actually helps your team. So yeah, be careful on who you use that unknown slate, because you only I mean, it's gone when you use it, and yeah, better be using that hero or it's gonna kind of go to waste. But yeah, that I would say go for that ASAP if you didn't buy it yet. And yeah, you can definitely buy the portrait for the current season. You cannot save your glory crest for next one. It's going to be converted into conquest point. Anyways, moving on to the next area. Now we've got the part 1 of the update. Let's get in there. So I went through all of this stuff already. Alchemist Steeple, really cool. It says craft charms, materials, catalysts, and more. And we will be able to craft things like every day, and we'll be able to convert catalysts. You need to improve this building. Well, you don't need to, but you should improve it. And it's gonna require Breath of Orbis and gold. Here are the upgrades. So reduce gold required to craft by 20% at level 3 for Alchemy Academy. Laboratory 3, craft catalyst by expanding the Alchemist Steeple. That's the thing though, at 1, craft charms by expanding the Alchemist Steeple. 2, crafting materials by expanding the Alchemist Steeple. And 3, craft catalyst. So yeah, laboratory is definitely something you want to enhance. And also the gold reduction is definitely worth it too. I mean, gold is not infinite, everyone's struggling with gold. The ingredient storage one, that increased quality points, and we'll go over that in a second. So craft charms, random equipment and accessory charm can be crafted when the Alchemist Steeple laboratory building is at level 1. So random, and it's 1 per week. 1 per week, and it's not much, but it gives you, I mean, I'll show you later, there's a picture about it. And here you can craft things. Well, there it is actually. Random accessory charm, is that the one? That is actually the random equipment charm. You need to sacrifice some items, it looks like. And there's a bar on the left side that fills up. You need to use gold as well, and then boom, you get some equipment charms. So of course the equipment charms, I would say, are not worth it, guys. What is worth it is the random accessory charm, because accessory charms are much harder to obtain. Well, there's the Automaton Tower that's gonna come out on the 1st of July, and there's a lot of those that are being rewarded. And I would say that if you need to sacrifice a bunch of jewelry, I'm not sure if they show the picture. If you need to sacrifice a bunch of jewelry to get those, that is, well, it's kind of good because jewelry don't give as much experience, and it costs more gold when you come to enhance the jewelry you want to actually use or might use. So it might be worth it, but we'll see. Yeah, I think it's gonna be worth it It's just that you're gonna have to save up some jewelry that you know you're not gonna use to sacrifice them to increase the amount of points. Anyway, so moving on here, once a week for both, we knew that. And now you can convert materials from each of the hunts, and to get those you need to clear each hunt to level 7 to like unlock that recipe. And here it is. So all the hunts at level 7, you complete those, and then you can convert, you get the recipe, you can do it. So this thing, each item can be crafted up to 5 times per day. Now it actually costs gold, and it requires 2 of the lower quality materials for that specific, what is it? This is actually, oh, there's different ways to go about it. There's different ways to go about it. You can use the 2 grades before to make the higher, like a higher one, or I think you can convert between hunts. That I'm not sure. Anyways, I'll be making a video when this goes live, so we'll check that out together. And let's move on here to crafting catalyst. So as we notice here, there's 3 different catalysts at the bottom, and actually it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you are adding. You're just trying to get that bar filled up or to a higher quality. So these are the quality points from upgrading the building. You need to get that to level 3, so it's easier to actually get these quality grade to the higher one. Now what happens is that the higher it goes, the higher the amount of whatever you're crafting goes up. So that's really cool. And you can really like sacrifice catalysts that are much easier to farm, or catalysts that you have too many of, and just go for the one that you really want. So that's super, super good. And there's no limit on that. It does cost gold, but I mean, that's just for a slime jelly. That's like the easiest catalyst to farm. Can do it on a 2 energy stage. Yeah, just check the farm forever video that I have on my channel page. That is definitely the easiest one to obtain. And you can actually just farm that one and just use it for quality points to get the other ones. I guess I'll make a video on that later when I know the exact amount of how many you need, and if you can actually use like a multiple of the same catalyst though. That's one thing to that I'm not sure of. And you see, got 2 of them. So if the quality grade was up to the last one, that might have given 3 slime jelly instead. But yeah, definitely don't craft for those, just farm those. It's on 3-1 in normal difficulty for 2 energy. Just like do it over and over. Anyways, you don't even have to check the farm forever video, but if you haven't, you should, because there's a lot of good information there that you might not know. All right, quality grade, there it is. So the point needed for normal, 30, 60, 80. There it is. Okay, so exactly what I was saying, you get more, but it varies. So normal is always 1, and so rare callus and epic callus. Man, that is crazy, man. That is crazy. An epic callus, you only need 160 points for 3. That's nuts. But maybe we have to always supply epic callus. That's the thing though. You can't like use rare callus to make the epic one. But if you can, man, that is super huge. That's gonna be so easy to obtain epic callus though. God, I can just thinking about all the energy everyone like kind of wasted to bad, just like getting epic callus on average. But like the unlucky players, that is super rough. Oh my god, the thousands and thousands of energy wasted. Okay, so yeah, can get up to 4. So yeah, you definitely want to increase that quality gain from the building, like get that to 3. But yeah, I'll talk more about all these things when it goes live. quality point needed. What is that? Below are the quality point required for each Kise grade. What? Well, it says point needed 30 and then 60. Anyways, moving on. Craft limit. That's the thing, though. That's the thing. Epic Kise is once per week, man. And rare is once per day. Once per week? Are you kidding me? But it's still 3 of the Kise that you desire. So, yeah. If you're a hardcore player, it's not much. But still, you definitely want to get these things rolling all the time. Alright, moving on. Craft accessories, of course. Everyone's been waiting for that one. Item level 85 costs 78 materials, and you want to get that 30% material reduction upgrade if you're going to craft a huge amount and you don't have enough materials. But if you're like, you have like 10,000 plus, like I have 30,000 on one of my account. The other one has like almost 30,000. My Europe account, I believe I only have like 2,000 something, but yeah. So here we can actually see all the materials on the page on the left side. So that's cool, finally. The Automaton Tower, man, that's gonna be a lot of rewards. Hopefully we can climb real high, and there's gonna be a leaderboard. This is the first entrance time. And 1st of July, reset time is here. Resets every month. You can obtain the rewards again, and there will be ranking. The ranking will be reset. And to enter this place, you need to, you actually need energy to enter. And you cannot use Guardians or a supporter, of course. But Guardians, yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, since we're getting gold, you should use, you should have your guild buff, and if you buy a monthly pack for what is it, gold buff, I think you get gold buff. I know you get XP buff, but anyways, you should get those running, get more gold. So 2 battles every floor, a lot like the Abyss. Need to conquer them to get the reward, and yeah, there's a mechanic that you can reduce, you can weaken enemies on the whole floor by up to 30% by using Stigma. So you should be saving your Stigma. If like you're gonna be using this in higher floors maybe, but maybe you just steamroll through the whole thing. So for players that are struggling and you just feel like you need that extra bit of survival increase, you want to lower the enemy's damage. They say weaken, so I believe it's just reducing their damage and reducing their health as well. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be that. So you know, if you want to just get that extra bit, do it, but it's not going to be consumed unless you clear the stage, so that's good. You can try it out if it really helps you. And yeah, and the energy too is not going to be consumed unless you clear the stage. So you can see here, 30% reduction costs 330. The higher the floor, the more expensive it will become. This is only floor number 2. Man, that costs a lot. That's so much. That's so many Stigma, man. And it definitely goes up. The higher the amount of Stigma consumed increases, the higher you go. So be mindful of that, guys. Don't blow all your Stigma. Just give it a couple of tries. Try different teams. You might have to swap gear around. It's not gonna be like one team clear the whole thing if you are not over gearing the content. Of course, there's players that have some super OP teams, and you might be able to clear the whole thing with one team. But most players, if you are struggling in there, you will have to swap heroes. There's probably going to be mechanics like says in the Abyss floor 62, where he just heals when he has debuffs. I can just feel that thing is going to be there, and it's really annoying because you have to change your team. Like if you're relying heavily on debuffs, you kind of have to change your team. But if you have unhealable debuff, you can bypass this mechanic. If you keep the unhealable debuff on, the boss and you have other debuffs on the left side of that one and it gets removed. But if the boss removes all debuff and heal himself, then you're kind of like, that's not gonna work. Anyways, here are the rewards. Really cool, really cool. We need jewelry charms badly, like badly. The leaves, okay, that's cool. Phantasma, I mean, not that big of a deal. But I mean, it's all there. It's all part of the reward. Everyone wants that floor 105 galaxy bookmark, okay? But the rest is like icing on the cake. That's a lot of experience. That's a lot of experience for your jewelry. And also, of course, the Molagora. It is, you can see it's 1 at 30, 1 at 70, and 2 at 90. So 4 Molagora on top of everything else we get in the game every month. That's good if you can clear that floor 90. Of course, the Galaxy bookmark. Well, that is super, super good. Good luck with your summons. And here's the ranking for the top 100. The faster you clear, and yeah, what is that? Why? That's when they cleared it. How many days and hours? So yeah, you can just rush for it and appear on the leaderboard. New Moonlight Hero, Champion Zerato. I feel he's too squishy, man. I feel he's just too squishy. Skill 1 transfers a debuff from the caster to the enemy. It's really cool that his passive is immune to stun and sleep. So a lot of players believe that he might counter ML Armenta and the ML Bell setup, the meta. I feel he's just too squishy. Counter attack, okay, that's good. When he counter attacks, he's gonna transfer a debuff from himself to the enemy. I mean, it's not Gloomy Rain where like she just used skill 3 and transfer all debuff from herself to the whole team. Now that's way more dangerous. Of course, the skill 3 is very powerful. 4-turn cooldown, reduce defense and attack for 1 turn. It's 2 turn after awakening. It's only 75% chance, but when you soul burn, you have ignore effect resistance. That's actually quite huge though. I'm not gonna lie, this is quite huge because a lot of players are stacking effect resistance to incredible levels of 200 plus. So yeah, when you have something like that, that's actually huge. And defense down and attack down, these are the 2 strongest debuffs in the game. But unfortunately, it's 75% chance, so you have, yeah, it's left to the RNG gods. RNG is random number generator. Kise drop rate up. I have her on my first account. She's been amazing. I've been using her in dual single target damage dealing arena team, speed team, and I killed the 2 biggest threats with Kise and Sid. It's been working out beautifully for me early to mid game, and in the late game I swapped to cleave setup. She's very, very good in Guild Wars, but yeah, you don't see her being used that much. You don't see her being used on defense in arena like at all, and you don't see her being used in the, actually you see her being used in Guild War. I don't see her being used in defense too much really. You can kind of bait her into a fire tank hero, so I would say I would not summon. She's not a limited banner. If you spend money in the game, like by all means go for it. But yeah, I would say just save for a limited banner for my free-to-play people. All right, she's great though. She's great. Like just like an amazing hero. But if you're looking for a Wyvern hero, man, Kise just doesn't deal as much damage as Alexa at all. Like, yes, for the barrier phase, it deals a lot of damage, but Alexa is free. Just build Alexa if you're struggling in Wyvern. Tarnor Guard for defense down. These 2 together, I mean, they can just take out Wyvern. You can have a 4th damage healer, but you can have your frontliner, a knight, and then you can have a healer in the back line. It could just be like Ether. The knight in front could be Crozet. Like, it just works. Or you could go Angelica in front with like another healer in the back, like Ether, Montmorency. You can even have Montmorency tank in the front line with the backup healer and Tarnorgan and Alexa as damage dealers. Like, there's so many combinations, but you don't have to get Kise. Like, don't go and like blow all your bookmarks or to get Kise because you're struggling with that barrier phase. This is just a temporary thing. You will eventually just deal with that. You can even tank the barrier. If you fail to break the barrier and the boss deals a ton of damage, you can just tank that damage, apply attack down debuff on the boss, and it's gonna cut the massive AoE attack in half. And it's gonna be much easier to tank and just sustain your team and just keep going, and you can fail every barrier, who cares. Anyways, just had to get that off my chest so you guys just, some of you don't make a mistake of getting Kise purely for Wyvern 11, because you will not use her later on. I mean, you could, but I mean, a lot of players have Luna, not everyone of course, but yeah, Tower Guard Alexa, maybe you don't want to spend your resources to build these two heroes because you cannot use them in other areas of the game, but yeah, I've used Tower Guard and Alexa a lot in Labyrinth and raids anyways. You can check my videos on that. Anyways, challenge this one. 4-star artifact, Crimson Seed. This is an amazing, it looks to be amazing actually. I'm gonna have to read it again, but yeah, 20% chance in hell, 7% in hard, and 3% on normal. This is the artifact, it works on the warrior. 70% chance, like that's the beautiful thing, is that we're gonna get that artifact like for free. I mean, it's not free, you have to use a bunch of energy, I know, but you can actually 2-man and 3-man this stage with fathers. It's a lot of experience, by the way, guys. Don't miss the opportunity. Try to get it going, like a 3-man team plus fodder at the very least. And because there's no like that other difficulty, what's called extreme or whatever, like with 40 or 50% drop rate. It's not there anymore in the game. They're not adding those anymore. So really go for that experience, man. It's free XP. But yeah, talking about the artifact, 70% chance to dispel 1 debuff when attacked, can be activated once per turn. That's actually quite powerful. The issue that I have with it is that if you, let's say, chance to dispel 1 debuff when attacked. Now the question is, let's say Bellona applies defense down on you, right? Will it be removed with a 70% chance, right? Or you have to wait on the next turn. If it gets removed instantly, that is insane. That's completely insane, because we can get that to 70% chance at plus 30 enhancement. But if you have to wait for the next turn, it's kind of too late, right? Because whoever, their cleavers, their single target damage dealer, whatever, their damage dealer would have dealt the damage to your hero with defense down already, and then you'd be dead. And usually you would get that dispel if it triggers, but you're already dead, so rip. But if it triggers straight up after being attacked, that is quite insane. That is very powerful. You got Strike Gauntlet for warriors that increase effect resistance. It's the full amount above 50% health and half the amount below 50% health, 50% health and below. But this actually like purely like dispels straight up, so you can use that in combination with effect resistance. But the thing is, you can it's much easier to get insane effect resistance on a warrior with Strike Gauntlet. But this is like, it just straight up dispels. It can be definitely annoying to deal with a warrior using that thing, but we'll see. I'll have to test it out to really know how it works. Has 70% chance to dispel 1 debuff when attacked. Okay, that's the thing though, yeah, that's the problem. Debuffs are applied after damage, guys, so it's not gonna work. Bellona's gonna deal her damage, then she applies her debuff, it sticks on you. It sticks on you because it would only trigger for debuffs that are already there for on whenever that enemy goes, and you can only trigger this once. So let's say there's a dizzy, well, there's only debuffs and the damage is dealt first, so it's gonna be for the next turn. That's really unfortunate. That's the thing I missed on, and that's why I wanted to read it again and think about it more, because it sounded a bit too good. But with them on the debuffs going on in the meta right now, I would say Strike Gauntlet is the way to go and stack effect resistance over this thing, because that's a chance. Effect resistance, yes, it's a chance, but you can get some insane amount of effect resistance, and it's way more efficient than this because it acts on all debuff. No matter the amount. So yeah, it looks good, but yeah, it's not that good. It definitely can be quite annoying if it keeps triggering. Yeah, I'll give my thoughts again later on that. I'm not 100% sure what's gonna happen and how many I need to farm. I think like just 1 fully enhanced is plenty, but yeah, we'll see. Actually, this thing for Golem, there's that defense down being applied regularly, like all the time on your team, and that's gonna be quite helpful there. Man, I need to speed things up. Okay, so here are the rewards, usual rewards. That's cool. Journal improvement. You have percentage progress on this thing, or was it already there? I don't think so, but it's been displayed differently now. And also you can filter heroes, and you can just sort them, like you can only show the ones that you have or the one that you don't have yet. Story journal. You can go through the story once again and check those cinematics. That's really cool. Much easier to access those. And if you have collected all the stories for a specific chapter, you can receive a background pack. That's really cool. That's really cool because you can start taking screenshots with your favorite heroes, whatever, and have a cool background. Yeah, it's gonna be an animated background too. I can just see this background. We see that when I mean, I remember seeing this one. It's like the same background when you start the game, I think. There's some levels with that background actually. It's really cool. It's really cool. So that's it for this part. That's part 1. I'm gonna go through part 2 now. There's a lot of information in there, but yeah, let's go through it together. There's no buff for Assassin Cully. I was sure there was one, but it's not there. So hero balancing, Ravi, yeah, attack stacks 5 times. Ravi is gonna be way more powerful now, that's for sure. 30 fighting spirit instead of 10 by using skill 1. That's insane. Triple the amount. Now I have an issue with this one. Maid Chloe, man, she can revive the whole team. Like, what? Entertain all allies with VIP treatment, reviving all dead allies to 20% health and granting revive for 3 turns to all living allies. Are you kidding me? She revives everyone, gives them that buff that allows them to revive for 3 turns if they die after they've been resurrected, and then increase their attack by 3 turns. Are you kidding me? That's not a revive of 1 hero. That's a full team-wide revive. I mean, she's the one left standing. She revives 3 heroes at the same time. What? They're trying to push that new hero, that, what is it, Lilibet? They're trying to push that Lilibet hero on way more players now, because that hero will stop revive effects. I don't know if it's going to be a passive, if it's just going to straight up stop revive. It's going to maybe increase the skill cooldown. It put skills on cooldown for revive hero on turn 1, or maybe it's just a debuff. From what I understand, I think I read something about applying a debuff on. You have to apply that debuff on the reviving hero, so you can just so they can't do it anymore. But that's a problem because I mean they have insane effect resistance, and then if you don't have crazy effectiveness to counter it, well, you can't apply it. So yeah, it might just be a passive, but I don't know how it's gonna work. Just disable reviving with having this hero on the team. That sounds quite powerful. Anyways, that's insane. Like, just disable that super powerful skill on those overpowered natural 5-star Moonlight heroes. Anyways, that skill is totally insane now. Completely insane. Jeez. Anyways, so Judge Kise, she can now dispel with this skill. That's skill number 2. Skill number 2. And wow, the soul burn effect grants an extra turn for 20 souls. I feel like she can be used way more in PvE now with this. Anyways, damage dealt increased by 11%. Does it say here? No, there was no. Because sometimes they just say before the change, like how much damage has been increased. Now the skill Wave of Light, damage has been increased by 11%, and you have 5% chance increase on to increase their cooldown 3 times by 1 turn, and the cooldown has been reduced by 1 turn. That's pretty huge. That's pretty huge. Nice buff there. And all Arbiter, Vildred, just nuts, just crazy. Okay, so this skill, that's this has to be, yeah, that's skill 1 because it attacks 2 enemies. That's like Vildred. Increase damage by 30%. Now you've got decreasing combat readiness by 15%. That was already there. The lower the enemy's health, the greater damage dealt. But now that is gone. But you have a 30% damage increase straight up. So that's good. And before awakening, now it's 50%. It doesn't matter. It's going to be awakened anyways. But yeah, moving on. This thing is completely crazy. Cooldown has been halved from 10 turn to 5 turn. And God. Okay, so it says that you die, right? And then you revive with 100% health. And you have 100% combat readiness. That's crazy. And then you have increased attack for 2 turns. Reset the cooldown for Dark Blade. That's not the best part though. That's not the best part. Oh god. The best part is that this is increased. The damage has been increased by 30%. The best part is that when the enemy is defeated with this skill, cooldown does not occur. Are you kidding me though? God, just thinking, like, I want to build a turn 2 team, like, just on Europe server, just to tank the damage of cleave teams, and they just throw that Dark Vildred buff at me. Like, so many players are trying to tank the damage, but this hero is a neutral element. Oh god, like, he's gonna deal a ton of damage before, right? If he's able to use that that Dark Blade before dying, and then he comes back with that thing back up with attack buff, and he's ready to go, baby. And if he kills anyone on your team, this cooldown resets. This cooldown resets. And also it decreases hit chance by 2 turns, so you have 50% chance of missing your attack. And when you miss, you only deal 70, is it 75? You only deal 75% of normal damage. You cannot crit, you cannot land any debuff. That's super powerful too. Yeah. And also, if your focus is full, consumes all focus and increase damage dealt. Okay. Very overpowered. Very overpowered. Sigrid, nice buff. She needed a buff, so more chance to increase to apply these bleeding effects. And here, okay, this is a bit more complicated. Chance. Where's the unhealable? Yeah, it is unhealable, 100%. 50% chance each to inflict bleed. When the enemy's health is less than 50%, activates severe as an extra attack with a 100% chance to inflict bleed. Oh wow. So if they're below 50% health, yeah, that was already there, right? When health. Oh no, that wasn't there. 100% chance to apply 2 bleeds for 2 turns. That's quite good, man. That's quite good. Bleed deals 30% of your attack and damage, and it bypasses 70% of the enemy's defense. Burn is twice the amount of attack. I mean, 60% of your attack. Same mechanic with the penetration, but it's quite strong. It's quite strong. Now it's better for her, like her skill. And this penetrate defense 30%. An additional 5% for each debuff inflicted. Before it was only 5% per debuff, but now you have straight up a 30% defense penetration, and you still have that 5% for each debuff. That's a lot of damage, man. We're gonna see some crazy numbers coming out of her, that's for sure. Screenshots popping up. What else here? What? Oh, sorry, I read before awakening. It's actually 10% per debuff. It used to be 10% per debuff only, but you have that 30% now to begin with. That is insane, man. You can actually go up to 100% penetration if you have, if you have 7 debuffs. That's crazy. Violet, okay, cool. That's actually really good, man. His skill 2, you can dispel 2 debuffs when you use it. Recovers health 15%. That's how it was before. And it didn't state so. It didn't say that you recover 15 health. But yeah, it is 15% health before. And evasion increased 5% more. So 35 instead of 30. That's very good. And you still, well, it's still the same. It's just better now with the dispelling of 2 debuffs. Very cool. Purgus, he has decreased combat readiness by 20% now with Falling Strike. Falling Strike, skill 3 or passive skill 2. That is skill 3, guys. That is skill. Is it? I thought it's stunned. Oh no, the stun is from the counter attack on skill 2. But yeah, that's good. That's good. Corvus buffed. He's now getting healed for double the amount when you soul burn. Amount of health recovered is double. It doesn't say here. I have to check the multiplier document on that, how much healing he actually does to himself. What else changed? It looks like... Wait, that's it? Oh, what? No. What? Wait a second. This has no cooldown? Yeah, but you need to build fighting spirit to use this thing. You can't just use it straight up. You have to build a certain amount of fighting spirit to activate this thing. I should go and check him real quick at the end. Cartuja. Healing the caster. Yeah, but it says damage dealt increased proportional to the caster's max health with additional damage increased when the caster is less than 50% health. It says before that it recovers half the caster's max health. They're just changing the wording, and the damage is doubled when the caster is less than 50% health. That's what really changed here. The rest is just wording that was changed. But yeah, cooldown of 4 turns instead of 5 turns. Lots though, lots. He increased his health with the team's health with skill number 3 now. Skill number 2, what happened here? I know it heals. I know it gives 100% combat readiness after skill ups. Oh, he is getting 30% combat readiness when he uses that. That is like auxiliary lots. Same type of deal. Auxiliary lots, he gets combat readiness on himself when he gives combat readiness as well. So that's cool. That's cool. I feel like Lot's going to be used way more now, because you have to remember that continuous healing is very powerful. It heals 15% of each of your heroes' health. It's based on each of your heroes' max health. It's 15%, and it's 3 turns, so that's 45% of your hero's health just from that. And this actually recovers health now. That's beautiful. That's really good. Really good. And continuous healing actually works with Shimadra's staff, guys. So if you have Shimadra's staff on him or on someone else, on another Soul Weaver on your team, all the healing going across your team will be increased. Even lifesteal, it's very good. I wish I had that thing on other account beside my second one. But yeah, very cool. I can't wait to see his multipliers. Bloodblade Karen, amount of health recovered by skill sequential cutter is doubled. Yo, she was already recovering enough health. Sequential cutter, I don't know which one that is. Let's see. Quickly strike the enemy with a sword, absorbing health. This is skill 1. Caster's combat readiness increased by 50% if the enemy is defeated. This is skill 1, guys, because the skill 2 is a passive that increases her attack, speed, and defense, the lower her health goes. And skill 3, that's the AoE. So yeah, that's skill 1. That's very good, man. Bloodblade Karen was already an amazing farmer, and she can like solo Golem 10. Well, with crazy gear, I'm sure she can solo other hunt floor. Yeah, probably some other floors too. Anyways, cooldown reduced by 20%. Wait, cooldown goes from 5 to 4 turn cooldown, and damage dealt increased by 20%. She was already dealing a lot of damage, man. That's cool. That's cool. Buff for her. But where's my Assassin Cully buff? I guess that was a mistake in the developer's notes, or it's coming later. Anyways, so other improvements. Okay, typos, blah blah blah. Wait, an issue where after attacking an enemy using a non-attack skill, Soul Bad Guy's passive skill, Volcanic Viper, is activated, causing him to attack a team member. What? The hell? Shit, we're attacking an enemy using a non-attack skill. How is he attacking a team member? Okay, I've never seen that one. That's crazy. That is definitely crazy. Okay, a bunch of things changed. Oh, wait, what's that? Okay, Winder Rider. That's Wind Rider, guys. That's a typo. Wind Rider artifact, right? It's here. It's okay, this is kind of odd. An issue that caused Wind Rider to provide an attack increase the turn an enemy was killed instead of providing the increase the following turn has been fixed. Were you getting attack buff before killing the enemy, and that was like invisible, right? Was that what was going on? Because they are recalling this thing, so that's pretty major. Like, maybe you were getting a hidden attack buff instead of providing the... If that's a fix, and if it was bad before and it was getting better now, why would they recall that? I feel like this is like a major bug that maybe you were getting the attack buff on the same turn and dealing extra damage, and you were not seeing that buff. That's insane. That's pretty insane if that's how it was working. And you will be returned artifact charms based on how much experience you had to you use to enhance the artifact. Yeah, let us know in the comment section if you have experience with that thing. Skill description, blah blah blah. Okay, so a bunch of things here, nothing crazy, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. My god, that was so long. Okay. My god. Okay, a bunch of like cool things here and there. Not gonna read through all that, unfortunately, but yeah, let's... Oh god, I can't actually close the window. I can't close the window. If I press this button at the top right, it stops the recording. Let me try to pause. Okay, it doesn't work. Let me press the back button. Boom, did it. Okay. We're in, boys. Let's check the journal real quick. My god, that's a long video. Okay. Corvus. Where you at, boy? Corvus. Yeah. Consume 50 fighting spirit. You can't just start this like... But it's cool. They're removing the cooldown. That's actually huge. What is going to be the skill enhance? I don't know. The soul increase is going to be there. The -1 turn. Maybe something else. We'll have to see. But you need to build some... That's the thing, though. You need to build some fighting spirit. And to do that, you need to When attack, acquire 10 fighting spirit. That's it. When you deal damage, you're not building fighting spirit. It doesn't say that you are getting any here. We'll see later. And there was something else I wanted to check. Okay, I can't remember exactly what it was. But I guess that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Press the bell icon for like to be notified whenever I release a new video. And check out my other videos. They should be showing up on the screen now. Playlists of all sorts. Arena, Guild Wars, Guides, Tips, and How-Tos, and Abyss Floor 62+. So check those out if you haven't. Man, that patch is going to be so good. So good. Craft jewelry and a lot of other stuff. Automaton Tower too. That's a lot of good stuff we can get from there. Alright, I'll make some content for all this. That's it for this one. Peace out for now.